Hello fellow woodworkers and welcome to this week's edition of the Garage Workshop, and this is a tool review I've been very excited to do. Say hello to the Evolution R255 cordless double bevel sliding mitre saw. Oh! And the mitre saw stand. Roll the intro. So fellow woodworkers, as you all know, recently I was very lucky in Evolution sent me out a track saw. I'll put a link in the description for that video, and I've done a couple of Evolution videos before. The first one was for the shop vac, which I got myself. The circular saw Evolution sent me, and they've also sent me this. Now, this is not something that I think I would ever be able to buy for myself, so I'm incredibly thankful to Tom and the guys at Evolution for sending this out. It is the R255 and it is the same mitre saw that you've seen in all my videos. It's pretty much identical to the mitre saw I've got, but it does contain two 18-volt batteries. And it's something that I would love to have done, move across from power onto batteries, but now I've got the opportunity to do it through Evolution. This saw has got brilliant reviews and it's got a huge amount it can do. So what we're going to do is unbox it, have a look at what's inside the box, and then we're going to put it through its paces step by step, and of course I'll be giving you my opinion on whether it's worth an upgrade. So let's get going. Okay, so this box contains the saw and the battery set that comes with it, and as you saw, Evolution also sent me the portable mitre stand for it to go on. But the first thing is to get the box open and see what's inside it. Now, being an Evolution product, as I've had with all of them, and I'm sure if any of you have used Evolution products you'll say the same, they're usually incredibly well boxed. And this one, I hope, will be no different. Let's have a look. So well boxed I can't even get into it. Okay, so inside we have got the blade. Now, being an Evolution tool, and if you've got one you'll know this, the Evolution blades are really good blades. They fit really snugly, and they will cut absolutely everything, and I mean everything. They will cut aluminium, they will cut steel, they'll cut plastic, they'll cut wood. They'll cut things with wood and metal. So for example, if you've got a piece of reclaimed wood and it might have nails in it, and you use the Evolution blade, it will go through and it will cut everything. So the Evolution blade is a really good choice. Now, I've actually bought another blade to put in this, a Saxon blade, just for the fact that I want a blade with a higher number of teeth. And this one, because it's a sort of more general blade, it doesn't have the same sort of cutting preciseness that another blade would have. And talking of blades, at the end of this video I'll be telling you about a special discount, or a special offer I should say, that Evolution are giving all of my Garage Workshop viewers. If you buy this saw, you're going to get a free blade from Evolution, and it's worth quite a lot of money, that. So the blade is the first thing. Again, usual standard set of instructions from Evolution. I always like their instructions. I think they spend a lot of time and effort in getting the books right, and there's a lot of information that's in there about how you construct it, of course, and obviously all this health and safety information about how to use it. So we've got the cover. We've got the arm, and already, although this is sort of the same as my current saw, it does feel already, even the arm feels a lot stronger than my one. And we've got the fence, the holder, the dust collection bag, which won't be an issue for me. I'm actually going to hook this up to my Evolution shop vac, because it does say on Evolution's website that this saw can be serviced by that shop vac that I've got. So we're going to put that to the test. The Evolution much sought after vacuum adapter, and as you'll have seen in my previous video, I've had a lot of fun and games with that in the past. There's the knob to attach the arm, and here we have the 18-volt lithium batteries. They're 5 amp hours, it says on the side, and it says they're 90 watts and it gives you 60 minutes of continuous use. Now this unit does take both batteries, and obviously should you wish, you can purchase more batteries to keep charging while you're using it. So if you're out in the field and you're using the saw, you're able to keep it charged. Instruction booklet inside the box, and there is the battery. It's very similar to my DeWalt battery. I'll just see if it's got a charge. Yep, it's got a little bit of a charge in it, just 1 bar, but the Evolution battery system is like all the other manufacturers. The batteries, they fit every one of the Evolution products. So as I said, there's 2 of the batteries there. And let's have a look at the actual unit itself. And there it is. It doesn't look quite as big when you see it like that, but that is the main part of the saw. And straight away, a couple of really important features that I've noticed from doing some research. My Evolution saw, I'll put a little close-up of it there. The guard on the Evolution saw that I have got is not see-through. Mine is sort of grey plastic. This one is a completely see-through guard. I'll just try and hold it up so you can see that. So when you're cutting, you can see what your blade is doing, and you can see how it's getting on. Here is the place that you put both of the batteries in, like so. And again, like lots of lots of cable-free saws. I certainly know I've seen the Milwaukee one of these where the batteries go in exactly the same place. They just sit on the top above the blade. So that's the main sort of part of the body. We've also got the Evolution battery charger. These are the 5 amp hour battery. So as you can see there, it says it takes 60 minutes. I presume that's 60 minutes for a full charge from empty, and they are pretty much empty. So I will check that. And obviously this is a multi-port charger, so you can charge both batteries at once. Just move that out. And at the bottom is the rest of the unit. Hopefully you can see it in there. It looks pretty substantial to me. And there's the cut, the sides of the arms of the cut. And I'm gonna try and lift it out. Now, I do know, again, from researching, this is quite a lot heavier than my one, and I can tell just from the way it looks and the way it's built, it's a lot more substantial than my my little one, which actually I think it is essentially the same model, but obviously I've had mine for quite a long time now, and this is the upgrade. So let's see how heavy it is and if I can lift it out. Oh, lighter than I thought, but nevertheless a really nice unit. And a couple of things about Evolution products that I like. I'm a big fan of the sort of grey and orange. I don't know if anyone else is, but I do. But this one, my other one, is very thin. All of the sort of fences and the guards on it are all very thin aluminium, but this one isn't. It looks like it's steel. It's really substantial, and it looks like it's quite a lot bigger than my current saw, which I sort of knew when I knew this was coming. It's given me an idea to rechange all of my my sort of Mitre saw station. Even though I've recently done it, I think if you get a saw like this, you need to have a proper Mitre saw station. So what I'm going to do is just lay all these bits out and let's start putting it together. Okay, so these are all the pieces of the saw, and there are a couple of instruction videos on YouTube about how to put this together. None for this exact model that I have found, but to be honest, they're all pretty much of a muchness. So I'm going to put it together now. You won't have to listen to me doing a commentary. Hopefully, if the magic of YouTube works, you'll now see a short, speeded up version of me assembling it. And I'm also going to time it just to see how long it takes me from start to finish. So let's do that now. Okay, so in total that actually took me 7 minutes to put it together. Really straightforward. It comes with this little Allen key, which is really nice actually, because hopefully you can see that it's sort of shaped on the end to do one, and then the other side is like a normal large Allen key size. It's got a little place to live around the other side, a little rubber port. But the thing that struck me straight away is literally the quality of the build. I mean, I'm happy with the quality of the build of my other Mitre saw made by Evolution, but this is a whole different level up. It's really strong, it's really sturdy. Everything that you think you're going to touch or grip or move feels really nice quality, even down to the sort of plastic handles that are on the guide. So there are two guides, a sort of guide to hold the work down, and I've got it in this side, the left hand side, but there's a hole on the right hand side, both with a locking nut to hold it in. And this one, which is a new one for me, and I've tightened it up, this is to keep material pushed against the fence when you're cutting, and I think that will be really important when you're doing sort of trenching cuts and things like that, or just when you're holding a slightly unwieldy maybe piece of material, because they're not just flat either. Both of them have got a sort of curve in them which would help them grip a range of materials. And obviously, as I mentioned earlier, this is designed not just to cut wood, it's designed to cut a whole range of things, including piping, copper piping, plastic piping, the whole range of things. The only thing I've not done is put the blade in. I've only actually had to look at the instructions once, believe it or not, and that was for this. I could not understand where this went, because I thought, well, it's obvious it goes here and it's another one of these, but then I thought, why would you have one without a hole in it? And I thought perhaps it's a zero clearance one that you have to do yourself for the first time. It isn't, and I actually think this might be for when you're doing trenching cuts and things like that, where you don't want the waste to fall down there. I might be wrong, but that's what I think it's for. So it's just a spare, so that can go to the side. So the next thing I'm going to do now is put the blade in. I did say at the beginning that I bought a blade for this, a Saxon blade, but this is their multi-function blade that will cut any material. So I'm going to leave it in, because when I do a test on this, I'm not just going to cut wood. I've got some pieces of metal lying around the garage workshop, and I've also got some plastic tubing, so we're going to try everything else. The only other thing I will say at this point is over there, the batteries from where they were on 1 bar when I plugged them in yesterday, to finishing charging took 48 minutes. Now, it does say on the box and on the blurb they take 60 minutes to charge. 48 minutes considering it had one little bit in it. Really good. But the noise that you did hear earlier, that did die down a bit. It was still there, but it was definitely less loud as we went on. So first thing to do now, get this blade on, then we can give it the garage workshop sound test. But judging by the size of the engine, this engine is a lot bigger than the engine on my one, so I do think it could potentially be quite loud, but it's also a very powerful saw, so you would expect that a bit. So let's get the blade on and we'll give it a test. So those of you more observant than myself will hopefully have realised what I did wrong here. I changed the blade, or inserted the blade, still having the head of the mitre saw locked. So I'm surprised it fit in, to be honest with you. It did. It took a little bit of a finagle, but it did. It didn't mark anything. It did go in there, which just shows you how more versatile it is. But obviously this is locked at the moment, so there's not enough room to fit the blade in, which is why you can see me struggling so much. An absolutely typical garage workshop error, that one. Thankfully, nothing damaged, no harm done.
So I'm hoping that you can see that at the back it is set at 0, 0 on both sides. Hopefully you can see that there, but you can see it's off, I'm going to say at least possibly 2 or 3 mil. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a whack to get it lined up. Now that to me looks perfect. I can't see anything there. Now this does have the function that now when you lock it in place, which I'm going to do, you can change those yellow orange pointers at the back, so you know where the sort of true 0 setting is. But this is a square that I trust. It's one of the first things that I bought, so I know it's right. So now I'm just going to lock this into place and see if I can just move those little markers to 0.
I'm not sure if this feature is on all mitre saws, but it's really useful. It's certainly not on my other Evolution mitre saw.
Okay, so the unit's set up. I'm just going to put the batteries in. Nice and easy, just slide and click in place on the top. I've got the sound meter in place. I just took a reading of the room without making any noise, and it was 38 decibels. So I'm going to put my earphones on just in case it's louder than I thought. Everything's good to go. We're just going to run it, see how loud it is. Okay, so 2 things. I don't know how this has come out on the video, but that was really quiet, like a lot more quiet than my cabled mitre saw. Considering this is a bigger engine, a bigger unit, it sounded really good. I don't know if that's because it's battery and it's less noisy, but I couldn't believe how quiet that was. On the sound meter, the highest the reading got was 69 decibels, which I'm really surprised at. I'm really pleased. It sounded really good. I took my headphones off at the end, obviously just to hear, but I'm really impressed with that. Like I said, all the way through this video, I think the build quality on this unit is absolutely fantastic. It's really nice unit. Everything has just got like a really lovely feel to it. It all feels very sort of sturdy and things like that, so really pleased with that. Now what I'm going to do is just whack up the mitre stand and fix it to there. Don't worry, I won't do it bit by bit. You'll see me do it. One thing I will just say about the mitre stand before I do anything else, it is heavy. Very heavy. I've got a mitre saw stand, I got a Parkside one, and that is light as a feather in comparison to this one. It is quite the unit, so I won't bother unboxing it. I'm just literally going to go for a time lapse and put it together and see how easy it is.
Although the instructions weren't really easy to follow, they weren't very detailed. This was a really straightforward build, and I think, I mean, it's only a trolley. It's not that difficult, but I just wanted to make sure that I had everything in the right place and had all of the bits the right way round as they should be.
Okay, so the construction is finished. Very straightforward, as you saw. Instructions aren't the best. They're not awful, but they're not the best. And it's got me to the point where I'm now ready to mount the mitre saw. Now, interestingly, I have all of these left over. And usually you would say, oh, with all of those left over, there's obviously an error, but that is all the instructions that are included. Hopefully you can see that.
And these bits that I've got left over here are actually an extension rail. So you literally lay these on top like that, and it allows you to extend out the stand. I have to say, I did say earlier, I've only got a really basic entry level one of these, a Parkside one. This is a different level in terms of adaptiveness and how you can move and change different things. It's really a lot. I mean, it's bigger than my one, to be fair, but the ability to have an extension on the rail I think is absolutely fantastic. Now, in terms of these, there is a lot of other places potentially that you can put screws and bolts, but looking at the instruction manual, which as I said is a little bit rudimentary, I don't think I need the majority of those because I'm not using the extension brackets. Well, I say I'm not using them. The clearance that I have got really sort of from start to finish, bearing in mind it'll be a bit harder to get a nut and bolt in there. You can do it, but the whole extension I've got, that whole rail is 38 centimeters, and if I measure the Mitre saw from front to back, I'm on 33 centimeters. So for me, this will be more than enough. Even if I have to put a bolt sort of at the front here, it's more than enough space. So to get these fitted, you just have to loosen back off that screw, and it just, when you've got it in the right angle, it just slides on like that. Again, on my Parkside one, and it's not a criticism of Parkside, you get what you pay for. My Parkside one, in the opportunities that I've had to use it, has done me well, but it's not anywhere near the same standard as this. Now that's interesting. This one, that one you had to put it on using the front, that one using the back, and obviously they're not completely tight at the moment because I haven't adjusted let me just move it back a bit, because I haven't adjusted that nut that you just saw. You just put a screwdriver in the end, a long screwdriver, and tighten it up when it's on there. But I think now, I think if I lay that on the top, I'm gonna have enough space to put all those bolts in and fix it on as it is. So let's do that now. There we go. So it fits really nicely. The only thing that I'm going to have to do now is just push these bolts down and get a screwdriver in there and fit it. Just tighten up the screws, and then it shouldn't go anywhere, fingers crossed. So I'll do that now. Okay, so it's finally done. It's all ready to go. I'm just going to put the batteries in. I have to say, I'm looking forward to this. The one thing that I'm sure you've heard me say in this video a lot is quality. The quality of the build, even the quality of the stand. It just feels like a really nice tool, and hopefully it will perform well. I've got a range of things that we're going to cut on it. The first one is this piece of thick CLS stud timber. I'm actually going to take the two guides out for this because I don't think I'm going to need either of them. And let's fire it up and see how well it does. And the other thing I'm going to do, I'll do a couple of cuts with this, and then when I come to do some of the other cuts, I'm going to attach the Evolution shop vac and see if that works. So here goes, fingers crossed. Wow. I'm sure you probably didn't pick that up. It went through that piece of wood, even with that blade, remember, which is not a high teeth blade. I've got a high teeth blade for it, but it went through there like a hot knife through butter. And that is one smooth cut. There's a tiny little bit of tear out on the side, but that was not an issue at all. There is quite a little bit of dust and sawdust, sorry, and sort of offcuts there, and I'm presuming that has just come from the fact that it's got the bag attached. So in a minute when we hook it up, and I'll do these again, we'll see how well it goes. But it went through that wood like no one's business. So let's move up now. Let's test it on a piece of aluminium. I've just got this piece of aluminium which was from a suspended ceiling, so let's see how it copes with that. Oh. Now, it did cut it very well, and that just shows why you need to wear safety glasses. I got a couple of pieces of aluminium off and in the face there, one on my neck in particular and one just on my cheek, which is a really important reminder about why you need to wear safety glasses. But in terms of the cut, straight through it, no issues at all. And let's try, I've got a piece of steel, this is sort of steel racking, but I'm going to try that. I have to be honest, I'm a little bit more afraid than I was. Let's see how it goes through that. Yeah, little bit of spray up, but straight through it, clean as a whistle. Now, there is quite a lot of little bits of metal that have come off, but to be honest with you, this saw's never going to really be cutting metal, so not as much of an issue for me, and I think it's probably more down to me and how I'm using it than anything else. And last but not least, let's try the plastic tube. Okay, here goes. Again, crystal clear cut, really neat cut on both sides. Quite a lot of mess, I'm not gonna lie. I'll give you a close-up, but there's quite a lot of bits of debris, but it went through all those things without any problem. So what I'm going to do now, I'll hook up the shop vac and we'll try some angled cuts on it. Okay, so to engage the 45 degree again, it's simply a case of pulling that out and then bending it to the degree you want it to have, which is now registering 45 degrees because obviously we changed it. Then you just rotate it and it stops it moving back and forward. Now, the thing you do have to remember to do is to move these. I didn't on my previous Mitre saw, and the first time I made a 45 degree cut, yes, you guessed it, I cut through that piece of metal, which was not very clever. So I'm just going to move this one back as well. You don't need to move this one if you're not doing it this side, but probably just to give you a little bit of an easier view. So we'll go back to the piece of studwork timber, probably use a longer bit. And it has got a cutting depth of 30 centimeters, which is really good. So a 12-inch cutting depth. When it's on an angle, I'll put it on the screen, the angles that it can cut and the depths that it can cut. Just gonna blow some of that out the way. Right, just put my ear defenders on. Let's fire up the vac. I keep forgetting because the Mitre saw's not plugged into the shop vac. I have to keep forgetting that I have to keep turning it off. So that's the cut. Really nice and clean cut all the way round. And one thing I like about it is it feels more, I don't know the correct word to say it, but sort of more articulated when you're moving it. There's a lot more movement in here than I've got on my current Mitre saw. So let's just try and do another couple of cuts. The other thing is it throws a light. I'm not sure if you can see it. I won't make the cut, but there's a light that comes down, like a cutting line light, and just as you get to the point of cutting, a little black line appears, a cut line, and it's been absolutely perfect every single time the blade's gone, and the line is about the width of the kerf of the blade. So every time I've made a cut, I've seen the line just as I've reduced it down. And again, really quiet, not a lot of noise at all. So very pleased with that. Okay, so the last cut I'm going to try is a trenching cut. I'll show you in a minute how you adjust and do that, but I've set it to about probably 10 or 12 mil. It's all ready to go. I'm just gonna give it a run through and see how well it gets on. Okay, so as you can see, all at a very close length, all of them very neat on both sides. And as I said, it was about 10-12 mil, I think, but a really nice trenching cut on it. I'm pleased with that. I think I don't really use the trenching function much on my current Mitre saw, because when I have done it, I've had quite a lot of problems with it. So what's my final opinion of the Evolution R255SMS DB? Well, as I'm sure you've picked up from the video, I am super impressed with this piece of kit. Without a shadow of a doubt, the greatest tool that I've ever used, certainly the greatest tool that has stepped foot inside the garage workshop. I am blown away by a lot of the key features of this saw. Now, although Evolution sent me this unit, I'm under no pressure to give a positive review. I give a very honest review, and as you've seen from my other 10-minute tool reviews, I give the review that I think this product deserves, and I've been blown away by how fantastic this is. The quality of the build, brilliant. Everything about it oozes quality, even down to the cuts. You saw how clean the cuts were in all of the materials that I was using, and just the action, the sliding action from it was absolutely fantastic. I'm definitely sold on having a battery powered Mitre saw, and I know Keith from Rag and Bone Brown, he's replaced his within the last year, and he went to a battery system and he's not looked back since. So I cannot recommend this highly enough. So as I mentioned earlier, Tom and the team at Evolution have created a special link just for the garage workshop. I'll put it in the video description. If you are interested in buying this product and you click on the link, you will get a free blade with your saw. Now, this is not an offer that is open to anybody else. This is a link that's been created specifically for the garage workshop. And don't forget, I have already got an Evolution tool link. I'll put it on the screen now. So if you're interested in any of the products, please use my link. I will get a commission. It's a very small commission, but up front I will get a commission of any sales they make. But apart from that, this is a really nice piece of kit, and it's certainly one that you would want to own. So I've had a few questions in the comments about whether Evolution power tools are available in the United States. I checked with Evolution and they definitely are, although you are going to have to wait a few weeks if you want to get your hands on this Mitre saw. It is due for release, but as of yet it's not available to the US market. Also, everywhere in Europe and across the world you can buy Evolution products, which is a really good thing because they're great quality products and they're not too expensive. And the second thing, which is a really important one, time for you to get a bit involved in the channel. when I knew I was getting this product, I designed a whole new working bench around the Mitre saw. Knowing this is bigger than my previous one, I designed everything. Now, I only did a sketch on paper, but in my mind I've got laid out exactly how I want it to be. But having this Mitre saw and having this stand has actually changed my mind. I'm not even sure that I want to have a Mitre saw mounted now. With no need to have an electric plug-in, I've got complete freedom wherever I use this Mitre saw. If I want to take it outside, I can take it outside. I'm not stuck with the space of the garage. So I'm thinking that I'm not going to redo my Mitre saw station. I'm still going to change the cabinets that are here because I'm not happy with how they are, but I don't think I'm going to go for one, which for me is a really, really big deal. So I would really love to hear your comments. Do you think that's the right thing? Have you got a fixed Mitre saw station, or do you have one that moves around? Let me know in the comments, and also let me know what you think I should do. Now, the last thing, of course, is to say thank you so much for watching this video. I know this has been a bit longer than some of my other tool reviews, but I hope you found it really, really useful. If this is your first time at the Garage Workshop, please can I ask you to like and comment on the video and subscribe and hit the notification bell. The YouTube algorithm is so important to helping this video, helping all the videos on the channel get out there, and helping to build the fantastic subscriber base that I already have. So please don't forget to do that. If you are a regular viewer, thank you again so much. Please don't forget to like and comment, and don't forget to let me know what you think. Fixed or static? Who knows? I'll catch you on next week's edition of the Garage Workshop. Take care, fellow woodworkers.